Hi crocheters and knitters, it is me, Brittany with Turtle Burger. Today's video is just kind of a quick weekend roundup of what I worked on the weekend of October 21st through today, October 23rd, which, spoiler, I haven't done much today on Sunday. Before I get into those couple of little projects, I completely forgot on my last podcast that I had been asked how the name Turtle Burger came about. And I've never had a question like that. Like I get a lot of comments like, oh, I hope you don't eat turtle burgers and stuff like that, which I don't. But anyway, so I was like super excited that I was asked a question. So I'm so sorry, Sandy, that I forgot to address that in the last podcast. But in case you have ever wondered, why would I name my channel / wanting it to be a business Turtle Burger? So here's the story. So in March 2016, I was a few months into getting serious about crocheting, and I wanted to start a website. And so I wanted a cutesy name like everyone else had. And I used to read a lot of blogs. I may have just joined Ravelry at the time. That was the only social media I had. And I don't know if Ravelry is considered social media or not, but anyway, and so I wanted a cute name. And my mom loves coming up with names for things. Babies especially, she loves unique names. And so she was just thrilled when I asked her, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? And she and I had actually come up with the name Brioche, like B-R-I-T, short for Brittany, and Chet, C-H-E-T, for crochet. And that was as far as we got, but I wasn't like really sold on it. And I had already asked my husband to be thinking of ideas, and he said, why don't you name it after the boys, Turtle Burger? So at the time we only had 2 children, our 2 oldest boys. Our oldest one, his nickname is Burger, and then our younger son is nicknamed Turtle. So that's where Turtle Burger came from. If you are a close friend of mine, you probably already knew that or figured it out from the way that I address my children on here. I don't use their real names, but anyway, so it became Turtle Burger Crochet, and that I had a free WordPress blog that I did at the time. And obviously the business that I had in mind has not come to fruition yet, but maybe one day. I feel like it's getting there with starting a channel and all, and I opened up an Etsy shop, never really did anything, but it's still there, and every now and then I add things. I think I have a couple patterns in there right now, which I'll link just in case you are in the market for a baby cocoon that looks like Mickey Mouse. But anyway, so that is where Turtle Burger came from. It's not some big, elaborate thing. It's just an ode to our sons. Of course, the predicament that I have now is we have a 3rd child, little lady, and I don't know how to put her in there. So, and then I started knitting, so now it's Turtle Burger Crochet and Knitting, which seems kind of long. So anyway, that's where it came from. In case you have ever wondered, it's just the nicknames of our sons. Okay, so the first project that I have been working on this weekend, I have not had a lot of knitting time, so I've just been it's been a hectic week and trying to prioritize other things. So I only have 2 projects that I have worked on this weekend. The first is my Scrappy stripy sock that will be submitted to the Crazy Sock Lady Knit Along Scrappy Stripy Sock KAL. And I am into the gusset decreases for this. And I am loving this. I totally don't mind changing colors anymore. I am just really liking this. So here's the details. US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, 9-inch ChalGoo needles. I did a 60 stitch count. I did, this main color is a 2x2 rib. I did 20 rounds. It is Huntington Valley yarns in the color denim. And then I did, I believe, this first stripe, I did 5 rounds, which is Southern Skeins Holly Jolly. And then this next color, I believe, is 13 rounds. All this is in my Ravelry project pages. I'll link that down below. So I'm going off memory here. But this color is 13 rounds. It is Monarch yarn on Etsy in the color Ocean Fade. This was, I believe, let me count it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. This is Huntington Valley yarns in the color Mauve. This next one, I believe, is 11 rounds, but it is Yarnaceous Fibers in the color, oh, it's an unknown color, but it's the Salta Fingering sock set. And then I did, before starting the heel flap, I did 3 rounds of this main color. And the reason why I did that is K goes right into the heel flap. I didn't like the way that looked on this particular sock. Not to say that I won't try it again sometime, but I didn't care for it. So I did 3 rounds before going into a slip stitch heel flap. And then I picked up my stitches, and I am currently in the gusset decreases. And then what I'm going to do is work my foot a little bit, and then I have leftovers to do stripes towards the bottom, and then I'm going to do the toe in this main color again. So that is really neat. And then there was something I wanted to say about this. Oh, the weaving in ends. I am using the Weave and Steven method, and it is making it so easy. I mean, I just cannot even believe it. Really, really liking this, and really liking being able to use every single scrap of yarn. Love it. Okay. The next thing that I have worked on this weekend, and actually I started it yesterday and have not touched it today, but I finally started Little Lady's Love Note. So, before I get into my thoughts, here's the details. I'm just gonna go straight recommended on everything this time. I am making the size 4 to 6 year olds, so it's probably gonna be big on her, which I am totally fine with, because you can always grow into something, but if you grow out of it, that's it. So I am using the recommended US size 10, 6 millimeter. These are my Clover Takumi interchangeables. The yarn I'm using, which is this. I actually started at the bottom, but because I grabbed the wrong thing, and I meant to start at the top, but that's okay. It will work out. I am using Lion Brand. I call it mandala, but I've heard other people call it mandala. Let me know what you call it. And it is in the color Fairy. So I am, and here is the way the colors will work. Hopefully I get to all the colors at some point. That would be really fun. Here's my thoughts on it. This is my first time. I've tried the provisional cast on before, but I used a different tutorial. And this time I used the Very Pink Knits. Actually, I used a few tutorials. I used Very Pink Knit. Is that what it's called? Very Pink Knits. And then some other lady, I can't remember who she was called. But anyway, they both had good details. So I started the yoke. I'm about ready to get into the yoke increases. I did the provisional cast on, just some scrap yarn. Let me know if you are a provisional cast on expert. This looks hideous, and I don't know if this will get fixed when I unzip the scrap yarn or the provisional cast on. I don't even know, because that just looks really bad to me, and I don't know if I should rip it out, which is partly why I haven't worked on it today, because that just looks ugly. Like, I thought if I pulled on my tail it would tighten it up, because that's what I'm doing on my socks, but all it did was pull the first row further into the scrap yarn, and like you can't even really see it. I've pulled some of them out, but I don't know. I'm hoping that gets corrected. And for the time being, I am using this little mitten stitch marker, which I got in a Southern Skeins box last year. I think it was their December box is what makes the most sense to me. But anyway, I know from making mine, I'm fixing to get into a lace section, and it made it so easy marking out the appropriate amount of stitches, because it was just easier to keep up with if I had all the stitch markers in place. So that is all that I am working on this weekend. Let me know in the comments what you're working on if you would like to. And yeah, that's it for today, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.